Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome back to our class. You are with me, Madam Zuraida Yaakob. How are you today? Are you ready to start our lecture today? I believe all of you are ready for this lesson. So, lend me your ears and eyes and I will guide you throughout the lecture. Alright, today we will continue our lesson on chapter 2, which is environment and ecotourism. This topic gives the introduction about environment and ecotourism concept, types, relationship, and issues. In this lesson, students are required to demonstrate mastery of knowledge and understanding of environment and ecotourism, which means by the end of the topic, students will be able to define environment, define the concept of ecotourism, describe the criteria of ecotourism, and describe the key principle of ecotourism. Before further ado, let me start our lesson with this video. Watch this video and please understand the content of the video.
From recycling at home to cycling to work, there's always something we can do to reduce our impact on the planet, including how we travel, tour, and vacation around it. As the tourism industry expands, so will its impact on the environment. 50 years ago, around 25 million people fueled the world's tourism industry. Today, it's grown to 1.18 billion people. By 2030, that number will swell to 1.8 billion. While the industry accounts for 10% of the world's gross domestic product, it also places a major strain on our planet. For instance, the average luxury hotel room uses 1,800 liters of water per day. To put this into context, the average Canadian uses 329 liters of water per day. That's just the average. The Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, an area where water is scarce, uses 12 million liters of water per year. Several tourist attractions also lack basic waste and recycling systems. The effects of climate change are also putting the world's most visited destinations at risk. By 2050, climate change could directly lead to the extinction of 30% of species, 90% of coral reefs, and almost half the Amazon rainforest. It's time for a change. While the industry will never be fully sustainable, there are steps we can take to protect the planet when we travel. When you're out and about, look for restaurants serving locally sourced food and buy locally made souvenirs. Search for a sustainable hotel or ask your accommodation how they are doing their part. If you are a business or destination, protect the resources you promote. Focus on higher yield rather than higher numbers. These small changes will go a long way in protecting our planet and the places we love to visit. To learn more about sustainable travel practices...
Okay class, what do you understand about the video? Can anyone of you share with us? Okay, please write your sharing in the forum at CDOS platform after class. If you need further details, so you can search the sustainabletourism.net. So let's start with the first subtopic in this lecture, which is environment. From the video, we can see the relationship between environment and sustainable tourism, how they really comply each other. If we did not care about our environment, so what will happen to our tourism industry? Are they can sustain for the next generation? Think about it.
What is environment? Environment consists of air, water, and land. It consists of everything we see around, like trees, plants, flowers, animals, birds, and also people. People like mother,
Now, let's learn what is environment. Environment consists of air, water, and land. It consists of everything we see around like trees, plants, flowers, animals, birds, and also people. Environment is often used in its widest concept to and includes different aspects such as cultural, economic, politic, social, and physical or natural type. Physical environment is often referred as the key element of tourism. Okay, now we move to type of environment. As you can see, so there are three types of environment, which is the natural environment, the built environment, the social cultural environment. Okay, let's see one by one. The first one is natural environment. This includes the air, land, sea, lakes, river, climate, flora and fauna. So the picture shows what is natural environment. Next is the built environment. This includes building, infrastructure such as roads and bridge, and element of townscape. Or we can say that the built environment is the man-made environment. Okay, lastly is the socio-cultural environment. This includes the values, belief, behaviors, morals, arts, and history of communities. As you can see in the picture, so it shows that the social culture of people in their place. Do you have any question, guys? So let's proceed with ecotourism. Before we go further, so let's watch the video. So what is ecotourism actually? So ecotourism became popular in 1980s. It's one of the popular form of alternative tourism, usually used to describe tourism activities which are conducted in harmony with nature. Ecotourism also focus on wildlife, nature, or exotic culture. Ecotourism is growing faster than any other form of tourism throughout the world. Ecotourism, also called responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment, sustain the well-being of the local people, and involve interpretation and education. This definition got from the International Ecotourism Society. So ecotourism is a purposeful travel to natural areas to understand the culture and natural history of the environment, taking care not to alter the integrity of the ecosystem while producing economic opportunities that make the conservation of natural resource beneficial to local people. So if we can see from two definitions of ecotourism, so it's involve cultural, natural areas, environment. So we need to taking care of that things in order to see or to make ecotourism happen or sustain for the next generation. Okay, this is the definition from World Conservation Union. Ecotourism is environmentally responsible travel to relatively undisturbed natural areas in order to enjoy and appreciate nature, promote conservation, has low visitor impact, and provide for beneficially active socio-economic involvement of local population. So ecotourism is an enlightening nature travel experience that contribute to conservation of ecosystem while respecting the integrity of the host community. So there are three base concepts of ecotourism: natural tourism, education, and sustainable tourism. So let's see one by one. Okay, what is natural tourism? Okay, it's responsible to natural areas which conserve the environment and improve the welfare of local people, such as bird watching, hiking, fishing, and others. So education is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skill, value, belief, and habits. The last one is sustainable tourism. It's an industry committed to making low impact on the environment and local culture while helping to generate future employment for local people. So there are three base concepts of ecotourism. Okay, class? Now we will proceed with criteria of ecotourism. So, do we need the criteria to sustain the ecotourism? The answer is yes. So let's see. The first criteria is environmental friendly. Second, appreciate nature and cultural features. Third, promotes conservation. Fourth, low visitor impact. And lastly, contribute to socio-economic of local community. So altogether 5 criteria we need in order to maintain our ecotourism. So let's see one by one. Environmental friendly is tourism activity is carried out in a relatively undisturbed nature setting, which is we need to take care of our environment so that we can sustain it and we can maintain our sustainable tourism and our ecotourism. Okay, second, appreciate nature and cultural features. Educational appreciation, interpretation must be present in order to appreciate nature and cultural features. Increase awareness and protection of cultural heritage. This is really important. If the host community of cultural heritage don't have the awareness and they cannot do the protection of the cultural heritage. Okay, next is promote conservation. Tourism activity in conserving the natural and cultural heritage. So if we didn't promote, the conservation didn't done. Contribute to the socio-economic of local community. It's really important because the ecotourism place also have local communities that stay at that place. So all the activities involve local communities in the process, providing benefits to them, community participation. Low visitor impact. Okay, this is also important because we need to lower the visitor impact, and negative impact of tourism activity are minimized. So we need to really minimize the negative impact. Okay, now we move to key principles of ecotourism. Okay, before that, so let's watch the video to know and explain the what is actually the key principle of tourism.
There are three key principles to ecotourism. The first key principle is to involve local communities in the development of ecotourism. It is important that communities maintain control over the level and kind of tourism they want in their land. Money from tourism projects should be invested in the communities who are hosting tourists, rather than just to operators based outside the area. Infrastructure projects that are built to serve and encourage tourism, such as new facilities, accommodation, roads or electricity, should also be built to benefit local communities as well as visitors. The second principle is to reduce the negative impact on the environment. Ecotourism often involves visits to remote environmentally sensitive natural areas such as forests, dunes and glacial areas. Visitors undertaking these trips should try to make sure that they follow any rules regarding litter and wildlife disturbance, and ensure that personal use of resources such as water is sustainable. Venues that host ecotourism activities, such as hotels and restaurants, should ensure sustainable practices such as using renewable energy and minimizing waste. The third principle is to respect the rights of local people. Many tourists visit a location in order to learn about local cultures and traditions. The people with the greatest knowledge about a destination are the people who actually live there, and ecotourism ventures should be managed by local communities using their experiences and expertise to promote local cultures and traditions.
Okay, from the video shows the three key principles of ecotourism. Okay, let's recap. The first one is involve local communities in the development of ecotourism. Second, reduce the negative impact of the environment. Third, respect the right of local people. So all three key principles is really important to sustain ecotourism. Okay, now we take a look of ecotourism activities. Okay, this is the activities that involve with culture. This is the river-based activities, boating, tubing, mountain climbing, bamboo rafting, whitewater rafting. Actually, there are so many activities out there. Okay, so you can do a search using Google or YouTube to see the activities of ecotourism. Okay, so this is the notes for all of you that you can remember when you go somewhere, especially at ecotourism place or natural resource. Don't forget to take care of our environment. Bring only your memory, take only your photograph, leave only your footprints in order to sustain our ecotourism. So all of us need to take care of environment and respect of environment. See you in the next chapter. Happy learning!